This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello all. Welcome to the next session in SAP ABAP fundamentals. And in the last few classes, we have discussed about the modularization techniques, which provides data code reusability and code maintainability and um, code readability. And there are some concepts like include programs, function modules, and subroutines. And also, we have one more reusability concept is the ABAP object oriented ABAP guys. Okay, that also we'll see, and it also provides the same concepts. And apart from that, uh, it provides same reusability. Okay, reusability and as well as readability and also maintainability. So it provides code reusability and it provides maintainability and also it provides readability. Okay, and apart from this, it provides the integrity and as well as security. So these two other concepts also it is going to provide guys. So we can reuse this, and we can it provides the readability and it provides the integrity and as well as security guys. The another two concepts it is going to provide is the even you can easily integrate with the object orientation with the different systems, and also with the security it is going to provide the security to your data guys. That's a security part. So we'll see what exactly the other things, and you can directly test. You can directly test the interfacing parameters are same with the function models. This is also almost equal to the function models, and you can directly test it and as well as. And we have two types of classes. One is the local classes and as well as global classes. Okay, but this is a high level, but we are going to deep dive into what exactly the object orientation and all, and I will take you to the uh, next slide, and maybe we are going to discuss the object oriented program programming. Okay, this is my object oriented programming, and you can see the this is my object oriented programming, or else you can say it's an OO ABAP. It's an object oriented ABAP programming guys. Okay, so object oriented ABAP programming, object oriented ABAP programming. So what exactly the object, what exactly the object, tell me what exactly the object, what exactly the object. Selection of collection of things. Next, yeah, collection of things. Okay, next, can anybody give the definition of the object? So every day you will see a lot of things guys. So what is an object? What is an object? What is an object? So give me some of the objects in the example in the real time. So give me some of the example. Give me some of the example. Give me some of the example. Huh? Give me some of the example. Give me some of the example. I want a body. Maybe I can see this is my okay. He's fat, huh? So, okay. He's a fat guy. Okay, now it's okay, right? And give me some. I have an arrow which comes narrow to the down. Tell me which is the one. I think this is the one. This one. I think yeah, it works. Okay, no problem. It works. Oh, okay. So is a little handicapped, huh? Okay. I think there is an opposite to this case also. Huh? If you flip, this goes up, that goes down. Huh? I think we need to rotate two times. Huh? Okay, no problem, guys. Okay, whatever it may be, and maybe I have. Okay, so this is an a. What is this? It's a human body, guys. So human body is an object. Human total human body is an object, guys. Okay, so so when the human body want to function, what are all the things required? When human body want to function, what are all the things required? So we'll take one of the example here. It's in a human body. So human body is an object. Yes, total body is an object. Total body is an object. Yes. Maybe I can say total human is an object. Human is an object. Okay. If the human, if you want to function the human body, what are the things, main functions? What are the main functions are required? What are all the main functions are required? Maybe how the human body is built, how this object is built, how this object is built, how this object is built. So this object is built based on. Okay, we'll take some things. Many maybe it's a brain, right? And also we have head components case, all the head components, main functions we are going to do, and heart, and maybe other things, liver, and legs, and hands, and mm, some of the main parts of the body. Okay, and maybe kidneys. These are some of the main parts. Okay, and these are some of the main parts of a human object. And also, so which will control all the human body, guys? What part is will control? So brain is the main thing, and the function. What you can say? It's a function is here. It is going to control. It is going to control total body, guys. Total body will be controlled by using your brain. The function is controlling function. I can say the brain will do a controlling function of your body. And next maybe there are some other activities which you are going to do, and maybe if you want to live, definitely you need to do one more function. That function we are going to call it's a breathe function. And also you need to have in a blood, and if you want to generate in a blood, you need to, what you need to do, you need to eat rice. So these are some of the functions. Okay, some of the functions where you need to where the object requires, where your human object is required, these functions. And also these I can say these are all uh, the things which are required, and I can say this, I can say it's an attributes. This I can say it's an attributes, curly braces, basic shapes, and yeah. So this is my attributes, attributes, and I can say these functions, some of the functions. So this is my some functions. This is my functions. This is my function. So these functions are also important, right? So the function, the combination of functions, the collection of functions and attributes, and also uh, so there is some automatic for every action there is an automatic reaction in your body, guys. Let's take an example of, if I come like this, automatically your eyes will close. Okay, don't laugh. Huh? Automatically you don't know, so immediately your eyes will be closed. If something comes, immediately you will close your eyes, right? There is an a actions and reactions also you are going to see. So maybe that we are going to call here, that component we are going to call in the object orientation is the events. Okay, events are the actions. Events are the actions. Even actions also one of the component of your object. So one is the attributes, and we have functions, we have actions, guys. Okay, so this is, if you want to, if the human want to survive, definitely we need to have these attributes. And so here the object, so the object is the, here the reference to your body skeleton. This we are going to call it a skeleton, right? Skeleton of your body. This is my skeleton. So total human is the body. Total human is the object. Total human is the object, and there are some components which are required to to operate the human body. So that is an object. So this object will survive when all these functions are in a active mode. All these functions and as well as attributes and as well as the actions, when they are there, then only the object will survive. Otherwise, this object will not survive, guys. So object is a name, and also so there should be an always, there should be an uh, key for your business, key for your object. So when you want to run your object, definitely we need to have all the components, and the components should be designed properly. And here my object will have the reference. So the object is the instantiation of your skeleton, guys. Object is the instantiation of your skeleton. Instantiation means, so you are going to how you are going to start your body, that is an instantiation. So in daily, maybe always your body will be in a instancing mode, not in a static mode. Static mode means it's in a died mode, is the static mode, guys. So death body is in a static mode, and the moving body is in a instantiation mode, guys. The moving body is in a instantiation mode, and static body is in a death mode. So here I have an object. Object is a name. uh, if you want to instantiate your object, we need to have a skeleton. So so if you want to prepare a skeleton, and we need to have a class, guys. We need to have a class. So we need to have a class. We need to have a class. So the class is the skeleton over here, and class contains all the different components together. The different components are attributes, and functions are methods. These functions we are going to call it's an methods. The functions we are going to call it's an methods, and the parts we are going to call it's an attributes, and the actions, the human actions we are going to call it's an events. The human actions we are going to call it's an events. And total this body is in a skeleton, and the class is a name, skeleton over here in the object orientation, and it contains all the attributes and methods and the events, guys. Methods and the events. And if you want to run your body, or if you want to what run, not run, what you can say, the technical term, uh, the human body, if the human body want to run always, and we need to instantiate this class. So when you instantiate this class, always your human body will run. That means your object will run, guys. Okay, so maybe we'll go with this are some of the components. We have taken one object here. So like this, in the world there will be n number of objects, guys. Everything is an object in the real world. Okay, so aeroplane is an object, lorry is an object, car is an object. Okay, human body is an object. And also we can give some other examples. And like this, so the same object can be applied on the business as well. The same object functionality we can apply on the business as well. So sales order is an object, and purchase order is an object, material is an object, and customer is an object, and delivery is an object, invoice is an object, employee is an object. And also um, we have vendor is an object, business partner is an object. Okay, every business entity is an a one object, guys. And also in the business, every business, the object will have different components together. The components, we can say, we can have attributes, we can have the methods, and we can have the events, and we can have the interfacing parameters for your methods, guys. Okay, so maybe we'll take to the next slide, and what exactly the object orientation. And object orientation will ensure the ensure uh, following concepts. So one is the code reuse code reusability, and second one is the code readability, and code maintainability. Spelling will correct later. And uh, data integrity and data security, guys. This is the object orientation. This is the object orientation, guys. And so in the object orientation, so there are different concepts we have. So the concept first we are going to talk about is the what exactly the object. So object is the instantiation instantiation of the class. Okay, object is the instantiation of the class. Yes, control B. So you know, right, what exactly the class. So if you want to have an object, you need to instantiate the class. So the class, what exactly the class then? Class, its reference to the object, it reference to the object, and it contains attributes, methods, events, and exceptions. Even the exceptions also component of the class, guys. So it contains attributes and methods and events and exceptions, guys. Exception. It's an a class, guys. Okay. And so I can say, so here object is the example, because we need to apply this on the real time the business. I can say total sales order is an object, and purchase order is an object, and maybe employee is an object, and material is an object, and customer is an object, and supplier is an object, and uh, delivery is an object, invoice is an object, shipment is an object. Okay, like this we have n number of objects, guys. N number of objects in the business, and uh, class is a reference to the object, and it contains the attributes and methods and events and exceptions, guys. Okay, then and also and also, it contains the source code. It contains the source code, guys. The class contains the source code, and the class contains the source code. Maybe how exactly the class looks like. So the class looks like uh, the class looks like this. I can say this is my object. I can say this is my object. So always objects. If you want to have an object, so you need to have a class. You need to have a class. This is my class. This is my class, and class contains the class contains attributes and methods events and as well as exceptions. Okay, this is my attributes of a class. These are the components of my class. I can say it's my components of my class, guys. Okay, this is my class structure, and also for every methods. Okay, every methods and events, you will be having an interfacing parameters. You have an interfacing parameters for the events as well as the methods, and maybe I can say I have an interfacing parameters. My interfacing parameters, I can have importing parameters, we have exporting parameters, we have uh, yes changing parameters, and we have returning parameters, and we have exceptions. Perfect. We do not have the table parameters, guys. In the function modules, in the interfacing parameters, in the subroutines, we have tables as an a parameters, but in the class methods, we do not have the tables parameters. Instead of that, we have an a returning parameters, guys. This we are going to call it's an interfacing parameters. This we are going to call it's an interfacing parameters of a method and event already you know exactly what exactly the importing. Same function module also here, class method also here. And importing means you are going to pass the values to your method, and exporting means you are going to export the value out of the method or event. And changing means you can pass the value as well as you can change the value. And returning, you can return the values. It's like exporting parameters only. And exceptions, if there are any errors, you are going to raise the exceptions by using classes, guys. So uh, this is my skeleton of my class, how the class look like. This is my object. Object is the instantiation of the class. Okay, class is my skeleton, and it's in a reference to the my object. And also class contains the attributes and methods and events and exceptions. And methods and events will have the interfacing parameters. The interfacing parameters are importing, exporting, changing, returning, and exceptions, guys. This is my structure of an object orientation. This is my structure of an object orientation. And now we'll see the what exactly the attribute, what exactly the method, what exactly the event, guys. So that and what exactly the exceptions. And we'll go here and we'll talk about what exactly that is. Maybe I have sometimes I have the uh, uh, attributes. Okay, attributes. What exactly the attribute? Just now we have discussed, right? What exactly the attribute? It's property, property of object. It's a property of the object. That's it, guys. Simple. It's a property of the object. So come to the human body. So what are all the properties of the human body? What are all the properties of the human body? So brain is a property, and head is a property, and heart is a property, and the liver is a property, and legs is a property, and hands is a property, and kidney is a property, guys. Okay. So these are all the properties of an object. It's a properties of an object. In the same way, in the that's an example, guys. In the example for the attributes. Now let's take an example of already I have a property. My sales order is an object, guys. My sales order is an object. Now tell me what are all the properties of a sales order. So how do you know it? So go to the system. So just compare your the example with the business. So we are talking about the business, guys. So business is important now. And maybe, yeah. So let's take an example of, suppose, tell me, guys, if you want to create a sales order, what are the things required? If you want to create a sales order, VA01 I have explained, right? So there what did you provided? You provided in a order type, you provided in a sales arc, you provided in a distribution channel, you provided in a division, you provided in a sold to party. Okay, these are all the properties. These are all the properties of a sales order, guys. These are all the properties of a sales order example. Okay, so this I can say these are the attributes of an our sales order object. Attributes of a sales order object. And next is the method. What is the method now? Same function, method, both are same, guys. Okay, it's a function and same kind of same kind of it's deriving the same kind of functionality, guys. And it's a function. It's a, it's it's a it's a function of deriving same kind of functionality. So it's a method. It's a function of deriving the same kind of functionality, guys. That's a method. So tell me what kind of functionalities we can see. Suppose, okay, no problem. Any system is fine for me. ST 19 and see, I have an a VA01. I need to give an order. I need to give an a sales organization. Just giving some example, guys. Distribution channel 10 and 00. So see, if I want to create a sales document is an object, and if I want to create this, and I need to have some attributes. So that's the attribute section, and these are all my attributes. And whenever I create a sales order, when I do the save, a order number will be created. So that means one functionality I am doing. The functionality is the create. Create is my functionality, guys. Create is my functionality, and the method is here. I can say it's in a create method, and after some time I created an order. And suppose if I want to change the order, I will go to the VA02 and I will take some order and enter, and I am doing a change functionality here. The functionality is change functionality. Change functionality. And also, if I go here, if I want to display, I don't do the change, I will only display the things, case there is an a display functionality. There is an a display functionality. So these are all some of the methods of a sales order. Methods of a sales order. Okay. So suppose in my class, if I create one method for the create functionality, I will create one method for the change functionality, I will create one method for the display functionality. Suppose in my project, whenever the requirement comes, create a sales order. So just I will write some code in the create. In that code I will write in a code, sorry, in the method I will write in a code to create a sales order. So whatever the project comes, so whenever the requirement comes to create the sales order, I will use this method to create a sales order, guys. To create a sales order. So same kind of functionality. It's a function of deriving the same kind of functionality. I can reuse that, and I can reuse this functionality, guys. That's a method. But if you want to create a functionality, you need to have the attributes, you need to have order type, you need to have the uh, sales organization, distribution channel, division, and all. That means for this method, you need to pass these values. And when I write the code, when I create a sales order, a sales order number will be generated that I need to export via this. That's why we need, for the methods, we need to have an interfacing parameters, guys. So that's a method and interfacing parameters. And events, its status of an object. Event is a status of an object. It's a status of an object, guys. So tell me what kind of status we can have for a sales order. Daily we are talking about what kind of status we can have for a sales order. So this is a method maybe, but I can create the sales order. Once I order is created, the system is returning in a status message. Status is sales order number is created, and whenever you change, the sales order number is changed. Whenever you deleted, the sales order number is the deleted. The status also it is sending. The system is sending the status. It's in a status of an object, and it's in a created. So status means completed, guys. So this is the function to create the sales order, but this is the action the system is returning. The order is created. It's an a created is an a status, and changed is an a status, and also deleted is an a status, and released is an a status, and credited, guys, is an a status, and debited your amount is credited, your amount is debited. When you withdraw, a reaction will come, you will receive a message. So your amount is debited, your amount is credited, guys. That's an event. That's an event, guys. That's an event. So this is my event. And tell me what exactly the exceptions. What exactly the exceptions? Hmm? So I have a definition for this. So it's my definition. When a developer anticipates, okay, when a developer anticipates there is an error, definitely, definitely, one day, one day, one day, user do the mistake, user do the mistake is one day definitely user will do the mistake. Suppose, so I am writing some code, and in that code maybe sometimes, so when the data does not exist, so or else when the user enters different things, I need to raise any error messages or success messages or anything. Maybe exceptions always will use for the mistakes. Okay, not for the success. Only for the errors only we are going to handle the exceptions. So log is different. Log exception, there is do difference. Log means with the log I can say I can track success, I can track warnings, I can track errors, and I can track any errors, any kind of logs. But exception means we are going to handle only for the errors, guys. That's a mistake or error. One day user will do the errors. User will do the mistakes. That's it. User will do the mistakes. So that we need to handle. That errors will be handled by using exceptions. By using exceptions, guys. This is an exception definition, and this is my exceptions, guys. Okay, and these are some of the things. And also, guys, for every object there is a key, guys. There is a key, guys. Every object there is a key. So for the human, what is the key? Human, what is the key? In India, human, what is the key? Aadhaar number is the key, guys. Aadhaar number is the key. With the Aadhaar number I can uniquely identify a human object. Here also, key is an a key is an a unique identity 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 for the object, or here I can say it's a application business application. So examples for my sales order number is the key, and purchase order number is the key. Huh? And bank account, bank debits and credits, account number, there will not be a duplicate account numbers. Account number is the key. And for employee number is the key. And material number is the key. For customer number is the key. Okay, these are all my key things, guys. So it's a unique identity for your application or your object. That's a key, guys. That's a key. So these are all the some of the theory about the object orientation. And so how do you create the classes? And now we are going to talk about, so what is exactly the class? I said class is the reference to your object, and it contains the attributes and key fields and methods and exceptions and events. But how to prepare your skeleton? So that preparation, how do you call it? How to create in a class? And what is the class definition? What is class implementation? That we are going to see now. So syntax. So one, definition of the class. Definition of the class. So my syntax is CLA class and class underscore name, your choice. It's your choice. Class name and it's the definition and end class guys, end class. This is my syntax. This is my syntax. This is my syntax guys. Class definition. And inside this, so you are going to define. So you are going to define what are the attributes we have in the class, and we are going to define what are the methods we need, and also what are the events we need guys. This is my class definition. And next one is the class implementation. Second one is the implementation of the class, and the syntax is class class. And same, what are the class you defined, take the same class name and my implementation and end class. Okay, maybe I defined some method name here. My method, let's take example of create is my method. Let's assume that is my method, and also it is having interfacing parameters. Plus I'm going to have interfacing parameters. And so here also I will use the class, I will implement that method. So this is my method. My method name is create and end method. So this is my implementation guys. This is my implementation. Like this I am going to call. Just I am giving an overview in the definition and syntax part. We'll see in the practical what exactly the syntax is and all guys. So if I want to give all the notes, that it's take a lot of time. That's why I'm just giving an overview how exactly we can create the class name definition and end class. Here we are going to define what are the attributes do you want. That attributes we are going to define over here. Just it's in a definition, but the implementation will be available in the class implementation. What exactly that method? So here I'm going to write code guys. What code I want that I inside the method I'm going to write the code guys. Inside the method I'm going to write my own code to implement this method. That's an implementation. Yes, I defined the class, I implemented the class, but where I will call that, how I will call that class, how I will call that class guys. So the class, next one is the third one is how to call the class. How to call the class. So for this we have two methods. One is the static and another one is instance. We'll see in the tomorrow's class what exactly the static and what exactly the instance guys. So after we talk about what exactly static and what exactly the instance, then the calling of your class is different in terms of static and in terms of the instance guys. In terms of the instance. So we'll see tomorrow what exactly static, what exactly the instance. Later we are going to discuss about how to call the static things and how to call the instance things guys. Instance things, that's about the overview of an object orientation guys. This is my overview of an object orientation. So do you have any questions? No, but just here you should understand what exactly the function of an object. What is object and what is attributes and what is methods and what is events. And if you understand this, just apply the same concepts to the business. And I have any business objects here. Now the business objects. So sales order, sales is in a business, and purchase is in a business, employee is in a one business object, customer is in a one business object, supplier is in a one business object, and delivery is in a business object. So every business object will have the key things. What is the key for your business object, and what is the attributes, properties of your business object, and methods, what kind of methods, functions I can do with the that business object, and what is the events with the business object, and also the exceptions guys. Okay, so that's anything, and in the future we are going to talk about. So in the Uh, BAPIS will talk about the same thing, and as well as in workflows we talk about the same thing. This what exactly the key fields and attributes and methods, events, everything we'll see in the workflows. So that we will see in the fundamental is here. The actual concepts we are going to see this in the BAPI and as well as in the business object programming and as well as the workflows guys. Maybe where the object orientation is used, where we are going to use the object orientation. That is also one of the important topic, and we will use this object orientation in the below concepts of the ABAP. All are hot concepts, are important concepts. So very important. When you go for interview, definitely we are going to see these questions where we will use VOVO ABAP in ABAP. So one is the okay ALV, oops, and ALV with oops. I didn't explain the ALV concept to you, right? So yeah, that's why the foundations I am doing now. ALV whoops, BAPI, both are same guys. BAPI are business object, I can say. BAPI are business object. BAPI is also method of a business object. That's why I can say both in sync in one concept only. And workflows, workflows, web intros, workflows, web intros, SAP, UI5 and Fiori and word data and AMDP. It's an a HANA concept. AMDP and what else? What else? CDS we don't use. We don't use the object orientation. So perfect guys. Body and uh, enhancement framework. Perfect case. So these two things also very important guys. So I forgot actual concept. This daddy also we are going to use this case. So here is by seeing this content. So guys, if you want to learn this, you should know the object orientation. So these are all my hot topics in the current industry. Without these concepts, no one will recruit you guys. No one will recruit you without knowing these concepts. So every interview will start with the object orientation and reporting oops concepts and what is BAPI and what is workflow and what is maybe this is okay and what is AMDP and what is enhancement framework. Definitely there is a questions. Okay. So if you good in this concept, definitely you are going to get the jobs guys. No one will stop you. No one will stop you to give the jobs. Okay, these are all the key concepts. If you learn this concept, nobody will stop you to get the jobs guys. That's the course. That's why the object orientation in other institutes it's an a heavy dose concept, but in my course it's an a fundamental concept. It's my fundamental. So every ABAPer should know object orientation. Okay, so ABAP cross applications, right? I don't say this is a cross application. It's my fundamental ABAP course. These days everybody should know the object orientation. In the S4HANA, most of the reports, most of the code is developed based on the object orientation only. Suppose, so as an a my project, every project will go to the S4HANA in the future. So there is a report which is written in the object orientation. So there I need to do some enhancements. If you want to do enhancement, you should understand the object oriented concept, guys. So that's why this is a foundation for your ABAP. It's a new generation ABAP. I can say it's a new generation ABAP. So EDC provides the new generation ABAP techniques, guys, not the old generation ABAP techniques. That's it for today. So do you have any questions? I hope no questions. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.